What's your name and what's your game?
Hey, so I'm Rokas. I've developed this game, Seek to Live, and this is kind of like a tiny puzzle game. It's like a reduced version of, like, imagine you have these old school roguelikes. So it's not a roguelike at all, but in the roguelikes you encounter these skeletons or monsters within the corners, and then you have this tactical combat. You have to decide what to do while within some corner of a dungeon. So I wanted to reduce that experience where you have this tactical gameplay throughout the entire game. So there's no filler where you have to explore the dungeon or find some item somewhere, key to open the doors, whatever. So I just wanted to reduce it. So I took a 3x3 grid and added some monsters which all behave in a very specific way, all deterministic. So you can figure out how to solve the puzzles just in a... So every move counts essentially. So you do something, you have to think about it. Do I want to do that or I don't?
Cool. Would you say it was more inspired by puzzle games or the roguelikes?
So it's hard to say. Like, it wasn't inspired by anything. I started initially. It was
just pulled two ideas out of a hat and had to make it in a game jam. Is that how it started?
It was like, the initial. Everyone says reduce your scope. Like the general idea is like for new indie developers to reduce the scope. I'll make Pong something simpler than Pong, whatever. So I thought I would make a roguelike, like an old school roguelike. So I had these graphics, like tiny minimal graphics icons and all procedural generations, field of view, everything fancy. But it turns out that it took a lot of time just working on those features which weren't really gameplay. It was all just something people expected already. They wanted
like how to get ASCII to look right.
Exactly, yeah. So it was actually a mode in between. I could just toggle between them, and it took me like a month to do. So I just decided it was too much for me. I wanted just the gameplay itself, so I just reduced it to a 3x3 grid, and it became a puzzle game. So it was a roguelike, but it became a puzzle game.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So what made you want to release on as many platforms as you're going to?
Yeah, so initially I started development in C++. It was this framework, SDL2. Which has all of this cross-platform stuff. We can do anything, and I love C++. It gives you full control over everything.
I prefer it too. It's to the point where losing macros is terrifying.
Yeah, it's like you feel the control. You have the memory. It's up to you. You do whatever you want. So I was doing it, and when I was writing the gameplay, everything's perfect. But then when I wanted to move to something like porting stuff, like you have to deal with Google API to have Java hooks to make it work on Android, and then iOS also has its own thing for supporting C++. It's not fun nor easy work, and for a single person it was just too much for me. So I wanted to find an engine, but I didn't like Unity because it's all the bloatware. That's what I'm considering it.
Yeah.
And there's this new engine called Godot. Like it's open source, and I'm not paid by them, but I'm saying they have the C++ backend, which if you want to, you can use it. But they have also a Python-like scripting language, which...
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, so essentially, if you want to, you can dig into the C++, but you don't have to. So I just used that, and it turns out it's very easy to just release it on Android, iOS, everything. I just, within the first day, I had this scaling Windows and porting it to Android, so I could play it on my phone just the first day. It was amazing.
So all the puzzle logics then, is the puzzle logic then done in C++, or is that Python, in their scripting?
Yeah. So I'm still getting used to the language itself. I'm still afraid to dig into the C++ because I know I'll have to recompile the whole thing.
Yeah.
So
I'm not a big fan of those kind of like third-party DLLs. I'd rather have you shove it all into an H file, like Rapid JSON, for instance, is very easy to work with because you can just throw it into whatever project and and it's not like impossible, but it's just not what you want to be doing.
Yeah, I guess the main change was when you're working in C++ and you're recompiling everything, you get used to 7 seconds of compiling.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
And you can code around that and as the minimal of change.
It depends on how you link it with headers and everything. It's up to you essentially. But 7 seconds was the average that I got. And then when I changed it to Godot, it had the scripting language, which is interpreted, you don't need to compile it. so it became from 7 seconds to like 2 seconds launch time, and that was huge for me.
Oh yeah, that's especially in that kind of iterative. Like you have something like 40 levels, right? So it's like,
and you rerun it every single. You need it fast.
So where'd you hear about Godot?
I don't know. Like somewhere in the internet, I think it was in a game dev forum somewhere. Like someone just mentioned it. I thought I tried many engines before. Like I tried Unity even, but for the pixel. So I'm doing a pixel art. The scaling has to be perfect, and when it moves, I don't want any artifacts, anything. It has to be pixel perfect. Of course, I do post processing, but that's optional.
Yeah.
So
the imperfectness is your fault, not.
But it is.
Yeah.
Like it's possible in Unity. I managed to achieve it, but it took me much more time than it did while doing it in C++ or Godot.
Yeah, and I mean I think a lot of people get caught up on like what is the best solution when it's really what is the best solution for your team situation and skill set. So
tools for the problem and generic.
So you're coming out on Steam, I assume?
That's the goal. So it still costs money. So the primary front is I'm going to put it on itch.io, which is going to be in May or so. May 19th is the optimal goal. Like I don't know what's going to happen, but that's what I'm working towards essentially.
Yeah. I mean, it won't be the first time a Question Bus guest has said a release date that was not true. So don't worry about it.
I've already made it public, so it has to be that.
It's in forever now.
Exactly. So itch.io, Steam, Android. I'm not sure about iOS because their process is a little bit slower, and I'm not really familiar about the.
And you're going to try and do them all as close to each other as possible.
Yeah. So at least like Steam, itch.io, and Android the same day. And Linux, right?
Oh yeah, shout out to Linux.
Shout out.
Yeah.
All 5 of you guys,
Oh, they're the most vocal 5. So
they're really happy about it.
Yeah.
Like whenever they see a game, they appreciate it. They leave a comment like.
And also I mean, there's certain bundles, let's say, that want you on Linux to be part of their bundle.
Not aware.
So you would either have to pay somebody to do it or do it yourself anyways. So having Linux is not necessarily all about people buying it on Linux.
Yeah.
People you're then on the Linux store, they might buy it and play it on Windows.
Sure.
Right? So there's lots of, it kind of gets you more availability.
No, but it's kind of cool still that it supports everything. So the person, whoever's playing it, like the player, can use whatever they want and still play the game. Like they don't have to, I have to reboot my computer into a different OS.
They don't even need to go to their computer. They can just pull out their phone and get it there. They could be downloading it right now, theoretically, as they listen to it. So I feel like the game's very solid, but what's kind of your marketing plan? If any.
Marketing. Yeah, that's pretty good. No, I don't really have a marketing plan. The best I got is essentially posting things on Twitter.
Okay.
And that's good enough. I mean, people interact with it. They give suggestions and there's some feedback. And I'm not expecting much. I don't want to do a huge PR or whatever on test benches somewhere, just people walking. Seeing a fancy sign, I don't care. If 5 people find it randomly and they just enjoy the game thoroughly, I've achieved what I want.
Yeah. So no trailer? Or what's the plan for the trailer?
Not yet. There has to be a trailer, but 30 seconds, I think I can make it just out of the gameplay.
Yeah.
I hate it when you open up a trailer, you sit through 2 minutes of it and you know the story, but you have no idea what's the gameplay.
Yeah, especially in because if you don't have unless you're a huge Smash, you're kind of just randomly showing up on people's discovery queues on Steam or even on Twitter and stuff like that. So it's kind of nice to be able to get kind of what the game across, which is pretty easy for your game. You see the 3x3 grid, you see the move, you see him push something. It's pretty much you know what you're getting into.
Played something before,
So. Yeah, thanks for being on the Question Bus. Is there anything else you want to plug?
Oh, no, thanks for having me, I guess. This is kind of
So you don't have Twitter account or anything?
Is that the point where I'd advertise it then? Yes.
Yeah.
Do follow me, click like, subscribe, and all that.
But what are the accounts?
What is it? It's just... It's really hard to say, like, vocally it doesn't make sense, but okay.
Okay, spell it out then.
It's Rokas Vo, so it's ROKASVO on Twitter, and kind of this, I think it's the same on Tumblr, and those are the primary friends that use it.
Any Instagram?
No, I don't use it.
Okay, and
It's kind of weird for me.
Snapchat?
No. Do you use any of these for?
I mean, you can follow me on Instagram at @Kiermeyer.
I mean, you yourself,
I mean,
sure.
I post any images. Well, I mean, here's the thing. What's this podcast? Like, this podcast might help me sell a game.
Okay.
The funny image might get somebody to follow me. Like, I post games on Snapchat. Like, I went to the Digital Art Museum in Zurich, and I posted the stuff there on my Snapchat. Like, I don't know. But Twitter is my personal for getting stuff about my game out there. It's the best.
So I kind of like it consistent. Like when people mix the stuff, like they do games and some politics on the side. Like it's.
Yeah, I mean, it's for me. I think the personal aspect could be something that would theoretically connect to people. And for me, like I kind of like the person. Like I like to see my favorite game developer, like what kind of music they like.
Okay.
Just because it's like a weird kind of you kind of. Isn't that maybe not what you expect?
No, that's fine.
It's kind of like
as long as the ratio, I mean, is fine.
Yeah.
You don't post music links every 80% of the time. It's fine.
Having the balance, I think, is good, especially because so much of it's lost in time and stuff like that. Like,
and I guess I can mention that you can actually play the game. Like, there's a demo. It's on itch.io, and you can find a link through Twitter. It's going to be the easiest, I guess.
Yeah, that's great. And the name of the game again?
Name of the game is Seek Etiliv.
How do you spell that?
It's a very tough name. Yeah. So Seek, I'm sure you know how to spell Seek.
Like Seek as in find, not
Search.
Seek as in the religion?
Yeah, exactly. There's a Sikh religion?
Yeah.
Oh, as in, with the Q, right?
I don't know how it's spelled.
I think so, yeah. And the second word is Etiliv, which is ETYLIV, I think. That's my best guess.
What is it? Does it mean something in another language?
It's like an anagram of a word in Lithuanian. So I'm Lithuanian.
Oh, okay.
But I live in London, but it's essentially just a fancy meaning for hope. Like the whole story in the game is based that you're thrown into a dungeon and where everybody dies and you need some hope to get out. So in between the levels, you get these glimpses of the story of what's happening through your mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, and hope you have a good rest of the show.
Oh, thanks for having me. It's amazing. Yeah.